Hey again from the garden, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. So today I am planting my dahlia tubers and this is laughable. I have never planted my dahlias this late before. I'm like a month behind. If you saw one of my recent videos, my 3 largest garden failures of the year, dahlias is one of those. It's just been quite the season. We've had so much rain. The ground has been so muddy, it's been hard to plant things this summer. Typically, I plant my dahlias the first couple weeks of June, and we have just had inches and inches. I've had a flooded basement. Everything has happened. But anyway, today's the day. I have my area prepped for the first planting. I have my tubers ready, and basically my goal for this year is to save the tubers. I'm going to be planting these as close together, closer than I normally do, just so that the tubers get some growth, maybe they multiply, they don't go bad, and I can save them for next year. So let me show you where they're going. Can we first just take a glimpse of this echinacea and echinopsis combo that I was standing next to? Oh my gosh, so pretty. And beyond that, I've got a little Rudbeckia patch. The perennials this year are definitely looking good. Okay. But here is my very sad looking dahlia patch. Now, I had dug some trenches a couple weeks ago. They're still wet, but I'm going for it. And as I plant, I'm going to pull these weeds out. This garden bed is about 3 to 3.5 feet wide, and I'm putting 2 rows of dahlias in here as normal. So normally I do plant the 2 rows here and then I stake them up, and I can fit typically about 24 dahlia tubers per planting row. This year, because I'm so late in the season, they're probably not going to get as big as they normally do, and I just want them to put on growth so that I save the tubers for next year. I'm going to pack them in. I'm going to do them at 6 or 8 inches. I'm going to see what happens. I mean, it's better than not planting them at all. And I have well over 100 tubers saved. I'm not obviously going to fit them all in this patch, so I may do some grow bag or crate planting this week. Also, I've got to get some potting soil, but for now, I'm going to see how many I can get packed in to this patch. So let me go grab my tubers, my garden markers, and we will start getting some planted. So here's my box of dahlia tubers. I showed this in a previous video, and I've got all my tags in here pre-marked as well. I saved all of these last year with the saran wrap method. So they are all stored in clumps, properly marked. Well, actually, this one says question mark, but like this one right here, it says Sweet Natalie, and I have a 9, so that means there's 9 tubers in here. So I'm going to pick out my favorites first, make sure to get those in the ground, and we will just see how many I can get planted. All right, so I think I could pretty much have an entire garden of Cornell. I've got 5 packages of Cornell here. I've got 10, 12, 6, 7, 5, maybe like 30 Cornell tubers. So I'm probably not going to plant them all. In fact, I can see one of them is a little yucky on the inside here, so we'll see what that clump looks like. But this is all I'm going to do. As I plant, I'm going to get rid of the weeds, just kind of throw them to the side. The positive thing about it raining a lot is the weeds do pull pretty easy. There's also a trillion of them. And I can come through here after I'm done planting too, but gosh, they're terrible this year. This fall, this entire center area is going to be tarped because I've got 2 other planting beds. I'm not even going to plant them because they're full of weeds. Sunflowers are 10 foot high. It's been a year, but I'm going to tarp this center portion this fall, and that way it's going to just get killed all off. So basically what I'm doing is I've got my trench here that's maybe 5 inches deep. I've got my tag. I'm going to put it at the end so I know this is Cornell, and I'm just going to start unwrapping these. This one has 6 tubers in it. And these have been in here so long and out of my cool storage, they have started sprouting, which is totally fine because that's just going to give them a head start on growing. These tubers are so good. They're solid. You can see there's about 2 inches of growth on there. And I'll zoom in a minute, but basically you want to place these down in the trench with the growth point facing up and then cover that. And again, I'm planting these much closer than I normally would. And by now, if these are not sprouting, this one doesn't look the best. I don't even think I'm gonna plant it. Oh, this one had a growth point that broke off. This one's a little soft. Here's one that's a little bit rotten. I'm not gonna plant that, so I'm gonna set that aside. Let me move the camera in closer. All right, so here you can see my trench I've got going. Here's a bundle. The black, I can tell that that's kind of moldy. Figure out where this opens. This method works super good for me for storing. I've used it for about 3 years. Works great. And I put these in my floral coolers so that they stay at a cold temperature all season long. Okay, here's a little double clump. It's got growth on it. This tuber looks just a little bit shriveled, but this growth point is growing good, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. There's another one. And again, I'm planting these really close. Okay, this one has some grossness on it from this that rotted. So I don't want any of that in the ground. This one looks good. And then I think I'm just gonna break that part off because this whole clump looks good. There we go. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already planted. And again, I will come through after the fact, kind of get rid of these weeds. But then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover this over with the dirt, level it out, and then the other side will get planted as well. Here's the remnants of a tuber from last year. So I think what I'm gonna do is just get these cornels planted as fast as possible, move on to another variety. I've got some sweet Natalies over there I wanna plant. I've got Cornell Bronze, Linda's Baby, Caitlin's Joy. There's a lot of really great varieties, and I'd like to get some of all of my favorites in the ground for sure. Cornell is a really good staple for me, and holy cow, look at that clump. This has multiple growth points. That's gonna be a good one. Now, I could have divided this further when I went through and divided these, but these were so closely connected. I'm kind of a conservative divider of my dahlia tubers, and so I left that one, and clearly it did just fine. These are all so good. This whole row might be Cornell, which is fine. Cornell is a deep red ball type dahlia. It lasts a little bit longer than normal in bouquets. Okay, those are a little rotted. I'm not gonna use them because I have plenty. It's one of my favorites, and my dahlia season tends to be September is the big month, and so we're going into fall colors. And so if I have like the oranges, the deeper reds, deep purples, golds, like those are the fall colors, and so those are the ones that I tend to concentrate on. I do have some pale pinks and salmons, but for me, I like the colors that go well with the sunflowers that are kind of the deeper fall colors. So I'm going to get these planted. I'm gonna shovel my next rows, see how many I can get in the ground, and then I will give you an update when I'm done. I've got 4 tightly packed rows of dahlias planted, and I'm thrilled to have these in the ground. I also am really excited to have this done because the sun is coming out now. We're gonna have a clear blue sky. Today and the next 2 days, we are going to be in heat warnings again. So this week, my plan is to try to get out here very early in the morning to do whatever I have to do, including harvesting, so I don't have to be out here the rest of the day. In fact, tomorrow morning, I'm gonna be doing a pretty big harvest, so I'll probably set up the camera for that. And then we're leaving on a vacation this weekend, so who knows what's going to happen in the garden while I am gone. One thing I am going to harvest tomorrow is a bunch of Lysianthus, and I'm going to be using those in bouquets later this week, so you'll probably see those in a bouquet making video. But anyway, I am thrilled to have these in the ground. I don't even know how many I planted because I just put them in, and I by all means did not plant all of my dahlias. And so I have some left that are going to be planted in crates or grow bags, and so I'll make sure to show you when I do that. But again, I've got to get soil. I need to also clear some of these weeds away. But for today, I am super glad to have these planted. All of the tubers I planted already had growth on them, so they've got a little bit of a head start. I know they're alive, and we should be seeing some growth above the soil really soon. Once I see growth above the soil on most of the plants, I will water these in. But until then, they're gonna sit in here and just start growing. So I'm gonna conclude this video here. I'm gonna get in the air conditioning because I'm starting to melt. But stay tuned for an update and more dahlia planting videos and more gardening videos. Please subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and we will see you soon.